Hello students, I'm Siraj Khan, lecturer in English cast. Welcome to my subject Advanced Academic Reading and Writing. Our course code is English 254 and it's our lecture number 18. Report writing is our today's lecture topic. What is a report writing? You may be wondering how to write a report. Unlike an essay which sets out to defend a writer's view about a topic and does not have to feature headings, but a report discusses a topic in a structured, easy to follow format. Reports are divided into sections with headings and subheadings, but essays are not. We don't follow headings and subheadings format in essays. Reports can be academic, it can be technical or business oriented and feature recommendations for specific actions. These are written to present facts about a situation, a project, or a process and will define and analyze the issue at hand. Ultimately, the goal of a report is to relay observations to a specific audience in a clear and concise style. The outlines are, first of all, what is a report, its types, the difference between a report and proposal, the difference between a report and article, rationale of a research report, structure of a report, its characteristics, and the key competence. What is a report? It refers to a spoken or written account of something that summarizes findings and recommendations about a particular matter based on what someone has observed, heard, done, or investigated. That is, like, report is used as a means of conveying information about an event, subject, or situation in the form of an official document. What is a research report? It can be based on practical work, research by reading, or a study of an organization. Now, research is the systematic investigations into study of a natural phenomena or materials or sources or existing condition of the society in order to identify facts or to get additional information and derive new conclusions. It is a production process which needs a number of inputs to produce new knowledge and application of new and existing knowledge to generate technology that ultimately may generate economic prosperity of a nation. Simply, a research report is a systematic write-up on the findings of the study, including methodologies, discussions, conclusions, etc., and following a definite style. The research report writers, in making the report good qualitative, should remember the saying that try to express, not to impress. Most important thing in writing a report is try to express, not to impress. More elaborately and precisely, a report or systematic write-up on the findings of a research study, including an abstract, executive summary, methodology, materials, and methods, including statistical design, if any, results and discussion, conclusions, recommendations, references, and following a definite style or format may be called a research report. Report, both report and research report, is actually is a guiding tool for higher authorities, including company executives, directors, managers, to make timely and informed decisions and to follow up actions. Types of reports. Report can be classified into four possible groups based on their structure, though there are many other types of reports as well, but these four are technical report, consultancy report, business report, and research report. We are having informational reports that inform or instruct or present information. The reader sees the details of events, activities, or conditions. No analysis of the situation in that situation, no conclusion, no recommendations. In analytical reports, we solve problems. Even the informations are analyzed, conclusions are drawn, and recommendations are made in analytical reports. Persuasive reports are more like proposal writing. It is a common type of persuasive report, an extension of analytical reports. Main focus is to sell an idea, a service, or product. But reports usually have a more diverse audience, more than one purpose, and more detailed information. Some other types of reports are like incident report, accident report, sales report, progress report, monthly absenteeism report, feasibility study report, a report, recommendation report, case studies, and etc. And but in our current discussion, we are more concerned with the research report than the other types of reports. We are going to have a look on research reports in terms of critical aspects to be considered and not to be considered in writing a research report. What is a research report? A research report is a completed study that reports an investigation or exploration of a problem, identifies questions to be addressed, and includes data collected, analyzed, and interpreted by the researcher. What questions, why the report has been written, what question or problem is it addressing, how the study was undertaken, and what the main findings were, and what the significance of the finding is. Difference between a research report and research proposal. Now, a research report is prepared after a study is completed. After the completion of a study, we write a research report. A research report communicates what was actually done in a study and what resulted. But research proposal is prepared before a study begins. Research reports are written after the study. Research proposals are prepared before a study begins. A research proposal communicates a researcher's plan for a study. But a research report actually communicates what was actually done in a study and what resulted. The difference between a report and an article. A research report is a primary source. It reports the methods and results of an original study performed by the researcher, but an article is a secondary source. Research report is primary source, article is a secondary source. It does not report original research by the author, but research reports results of an original study performed by the researcher. The rationale of a research report is the last part of the research process. Research report enables the reader to communicate with the audiences interested in the research outcome by serving the following purposes. First, acquaint the reader with the problem that has been researched and explain its implications. The explanation and its implications. It expresses the justification for carrying out the study and how the study was conducted. It presents and interprets information derived from the data fully and adequately for readers. It demonstrates exactly how the data revolves around the problem. Write the report when your mind is fresh. Whenever we go for writing a report, we need to keep our mind fresh, that we should produce reports accordingly. First of all, it is all about generating a plan for writing. First, plan your work and then work on your plan. Setting goals, you must have a target or a purpose. In your research report, you are in the pursuit of achieving that. Other possible guidelines to be considered while writing a research report: keep it brief and clear. Write a concise and clear report. What to write first, next, and last. Go with a plan. Thinking on the screen when writing a report by using word processor. Thinking about your audiences, you have to keep the audience in your mind. Structure of a research report, you must go with a definite style and structure. The research report format mainly consists of three main sections. The first one, that is introductory section. The main body of the report is the second section. And the third one, that is the reference section. First of all, the introductory section. Where we are having a title page, acknowledgements, if any. A title page, the title page identifies the title of the report, the name of the researcher, the name of the guide, institution, month, and year of submission. The title should communicate what the study is about. A well-constructed title makes it easy for the reader to understand and determine the nature of the topic. The second, acknowledgements, if any. If it is, this page permits the writer to express appreciation to persons who have contributed significantly to the research. And next part, that is table of contents. The table of contents is an outline of the report that indicates the page number on which each major section and subsection begins. The next, that is table of a list of tables if included, a list of all the tables included in the report along with the page number should be provided. A list of figures if included. A list of all the figure included in the report along with the page numbers should be provided. Abstract is a brief but comprehensive summary of the research report. It includes a concise statement of the goal of the research, the type of participants and instruments, outlines the methods, major results, and conclusions. Abstract must be limited to a specific number of words, usually between 100 and 500 words. An abstract is usually asking questions: why the report has been written, how the study was undertaken, and what the main findings were, and what the significance of the study is. Be specific and precise so that the reader can get a good understanding of the main points without having to read the whole report. The abstract should be on a separate page with the centered heading as abstract in capitals. It is usually written in a single paragraph with no insertion. The body of the report. Introduction. The introduction section provides the theoretical framework of the study within which the research has been conducted, background information of the topic, as well as the need for and rationale for the research to make the material more logical, useful, and interesting for the readers. It begins with a description of the research problem or topic and includes objective, significance of the problem, research question, statement of hypothesis, if any. It also includes the assumptions of the study, if included, definition of important terms, limitations and delimitations of the study. Significance of the problem, research questions, the purpose, statement of hypothesis if included, and assumptions of the study if any, definition of important terms, limitations and delimitations of the study, and definition of important terms. A review of related literature, analysis of previous research. The review of related literature indicates what is known about the problem or topic. The already carried out research, and in the light of that research, you carry out your research. Its function is to educate the reader about the area under study. A design of the study. This section provides a detailed description of the methodology used in the study, for example, population, sample size, and sampling techniques and tools used in the study. The actual purpose of this section is to describe in detail how a researcher performed the study so that someone should be able to replicate the study based on the information that a researcher provides in this section. For a qualitative study, this section may also include a detailed description of the nature and length of interactions with the participants, the description of participants includes information about how they were selected and mainly representative of the population. The description indicate the purpose of the instrument and the validity and reliability of the instrument. Methods and instruments of data gathering, statistical treatment, analysis of data. This section describes the statistical techniques are the inferential interpretations that were applied to the data and the result of these analysis. Text with appropriate tables and figures which are used to present findings are graphic form which aid clarity in findings for a reader. Results and discussion. The results section is to tell the reader what was found in the study. It includes the descriptive statistics for the relevant variables, for example, mean, standard deviation. Then tell the reader what statistical test you use to test your hypothesis in what you found. Major findings, reject or fail to reject. And summary and conclusions. The discussion section is where the researcher interprets and evaluates the results. It is of a research report section presents the theoretical and practical implications of the findings and make recommendation for the future research. It discusses the results of the current study, explaining exactly what was found. It is an account for the research findings relate back to the previous research and theories highlighted in the introduction. It discusses the limitations of the current study and provide ideas for future research, and with a conclusion. The next part, that is summary and conclusions. Conclusion is actually a summary of the main ideas that come out from the discussion. It draws all arguments and findings together. It indicates whether hypotheses were accepted or rejected. Recommendations for summarizes major findings of the study. The purpose of this section is actually to evaluate or interpret the result, especially with respect to the original research questions. The last part is the reference section. Reference or bibliography. The references section provides the reader with all the information needed to seek out and obtain all original sources used in the research. It is actually written in the alphabetical order. And appendices. This section provide a place for important information. It includes tools prepared for researcher and used in the study. It may be lettered, interview names, raw data, and data analysis sheets. Attachments of any additional material or information, for example, questionnaire, interview guides, glossary, tabulation, charts, maps, etc., that were mentioned but not included in the main body of the research report are supposed to be included in this section. Which style we adopt while writing a report. In order for the research report to be understood by the intended audience or readers, the following writing style should be observed by everyone. The researcher should try to be short, not too long, not too short, clear, like go with logical arguments, and simple in terms of the use of jargons as well as the use long sentences and paragraphs to avoid confusions, and the use of quotations from the literature should be minimized. When writing a report, confidentiality and anonymity should be preserved if requested with respect to individuals or organizations that volunteered information or were part of the study. And the most important thing is to provide all information that is required by the reader, and it should be the proper use of visual aids like maps, figures, and charts when writing a report. Go with make sure everyone that the audience in which the report is being written is known. So the audience centered approach must be adopted. While you're writing a report, make sure that it is containing more facts than opinion, unless report dictates that. It is important to check for facts if they are accurate, as well as spelling and grammar used in the report. So language focus, that is the most important factor in making a concise and clear report. Your spellings, your grammar mistakes must not be uh, overloaded, and try to minimize the grammar and spelling mistakes. Key competence of a report: in order for the report to be understood by the intended audience, apart from the writing styles, and there are key areas of competence that a researcher needs to develop for the same. And the first of all, technical expertise and adequate knowledge in the field or discipline one is writing upon is important, and that technical knowledge is education, experience, and personal skills. And the most important thing while going with a designed style and format, like most of time we are having APA and SLA style we adopt in writing research papers, research reports, proposal writing, or carrying out research thesis. Transparency in allowing others to read, evaluate, and criticize. So your research report must be transparent. It must not be directed, because you're having a goal and not to discriminate, or that report must be impartial and impersonal. That must not be uh, targeted. Communication skills, that is the most important thing here while writing a report. You must have knowledge of the language while using sentences and spellings and grammar. Characteristics of a good report: there should be no exhortation. You should describe issues rather than convince readers or audiences. Your main focus will be on issues, not on the audience. It should be creative, short, simple, clear, and a concise report. Avoid personal pronouns like I, we, in, me. Use such phrases like the researcher or the author or the investigator believes. So you are supposed to avoid such phrases. When citing any researcher, use the last name, surname only, or as recommended in the manual of citation style. Writing is not an easy task, and therefore do not hurry writing your report, but think critically. It is recommended to present computations in the appendices. Evaluating the first draft is there are key issues to be considered in evaluating the first draft of a research report, whether it is satisfactory enough for submission. The first thing that is, check if the research title reflects the contents. Your report is having a clear structure. It's the reflection of the title, its structure, and there is a clear storyline in the report, and the abstract reflects accurately the contents of the report, and the introduction addresses clearly the background to the problem at hand, and the literature review informs later contents of the report. Check if the methods applied in the study are clearly explained. So your methodology must be clear, and the researcher has made a clear distinction between research results, findings, and conclusions in relevant chapters. Check if all the references are presented in the required manner as suggested in the manual of citation style. There is any material which should be in the appendices and vice versa. You need to check that. And also check the report has divided the text throughout with suitable headings, clear and concise. And you are also supposed to check if you are happy with the clarity and simplicity of your research report. Also check each chapter have a preview and summary. So, in conclusion, writing never ends. It is a continuous process. Consequently, people will judge the report writers based on the quality of their work. Thank you very much and good luck.